A few months ago, I asked the question, how evil can you be in Hogwarts Legacy? After the most recent gameplay showcase, I think we have our answer. The new gameplay footage of Hogwarts Legacy showed off a combat-centric horde mode area known as the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and they wasted no time in showing off all 3 unforgivable spells and just how sinister they can be. Now, back when we knew very little about Hogwarts Legacy, one of the biggest fan requests was, without a doubt, please include the unforgivable curses in the game. To be honest, I personally had my doubts they would be included at all, and then even after Avada Kedavra was confirmed with the first gameplay reveal, many, again including myself, felt it would only be used as one of the game's special finisher spells and not as a slottable spell that you can just have on you at any time. But this showcase revealed the 3 unforgivables will all be available as slottable spells to the player. We'll start with Imperio here, which was confirmed in an official post back on Halloween. We got a description at that time of how it would work in battle. However, this recent showcase marks the first time we've seen it in action. It will essentially turn an enemy into an ally on the battlefield, and they'll fight alongside you. So while the Imperio spell may be unique to the Potter series, this type of gameplay effect is something that will be familiar to many players. Where things get interesting is that Imperio will also place a cursed status effect on anyone who gets hit with the spell. So take note of this little green X that you see here. This is also true of Crucio. So in addition to their normal effects, they'll also cause enemies to become cursed. It remains to be seen if there are other curse-inducing spells in the game or if it's just these 2, but this enables an incredibly deadly combo of creating a situation where multiple enemies actually share damage. That's right, any enemy with this curse effect placed upon them will all take the same damage. So we don't know the full limits of this yet, but theoretically, I mean, you could have a situation where multiple enemies are surrounding you, you hit them all with this curse effect, and then you cast Avada Kedavra on one of them, and they all fall at the same time. My goodness, Voldemort would be so proud of you guys right now. Believe it or not, AK is a true insta-death spell in Hogwarts Legacy. Game director Alan Tu said it was very important for the team that this spell be true to the series. So we actually see it throughout this recent gameplay take down a full health mountain troll, human wizards, goblins, all of varying health levels. Of course, with such a powerful spell, balance is obviously a concern, which the dev team is addressing by a longer cooldown meter for spells like Avada Kedavra. Even so, there are potions in the game and presumably even more upgrades along the way that will enable us to speed up these cooldowns. Now, you want to know something crazy, guys? Avada Kedavra, it's not even the darkest spell in this game. No. That is reserved for the torture curse, Crucio. Of the 3, this was the one I often doubted they would ever even include. I mean, the spell quite literally exists to torture other living beings. In fact, one of the most tragic moments in the entire Potter series, of course, is when the trio saw what became of Neville's parents, Frank and Alice Longbottom, after they were tortured with the Cruciatus Curse. So in the game, it exists as a spell to essentially incapacitate enemies on the battlefield, take them out of the battle. It also appears to have a slight damage over time effect as well. But I think the most sinister, the most dark part about all of this with Crucio is the sound effect. I mean, this little effect alone, just when you cast the spell, sounds absolutely terrifying, just like souls crying out. And then you can even hear the enemies on the battlefield crying out in pain. I mean, it's absolutely brutal. Now, earlier in the video, you remember I mentioned how we originally thought that AK would be a finisher spell. Well, we actually got to look at some of those as well, and guys, they are equally as deadly. For one, we have a finisher that seems to be possible when this meter reaches the halfway point, and it just completely obliterates this enemy. I mean, it seems like this guy just combusts in midair before our very eyes. And then another similar one here, but you see it has a slightly different visual effect. And then maybe for a more, I don't know, humorous one, this one's still kind of dark too, but we have another finisher spell that actually transfigures enemies into a chicken. And then of course we can't forget the massive lightning spell that we've already seen in a previous trailer. Now what's interesting about this whole Dark Arts Battle Arena is that you can try this area out even if you don't want to learn dark magic. So let's say you're like me, you know, we're the good Gryffindor, we're doing a playthrough as a purely good, no dark magic character. You can still go into the Dark Arts Battle Arena to get a little taste of what it would be like. And they actually confirmed there are going to be 3 of these arenas in the game, with the Dark Arts Arena only being included in the Deluxe Edition or as part of the Dark Arts pack, which buyers of the Standard Edition can purchase as an add-on. Now, even though I'm not really a dark magic kind of guy, what I love is the moral dilemmas that they're already setting up here. In a previous trailer, we learned that Sebastian Sallow is the one who introduces us to Crucio, the torture curse. And what's interesting about what Sebastian is doing, this is actually one of the few story details that we know, is that he is trying to find a cure for his sister who has some sort of curse. We don't really know what it is yet. We've speculated, but we don't know for sure. And he believes that dark magic may somehow be the path to being able to cure her. We even hear him say at one point that an unforgivable spell should not be unforgivable if it can save a life. And then also, what about those of us on the side of the light, the no dark magic playthrough kind of folks? Well, Alan unfortunately did not go into specifics, but he did mention this.
There are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts characters, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep, on the fly, or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
So there is still hope, my friends. Maybe stealth, maybe more maneuver type mechanics, and I've still got my fingers crossed for Expecto Patronum as well. The gameplay showcase also gave us a look at the open world exploration, as well as a stunning look at all the customization options in the Room of Requirement, as well as these vivariums where we're going to be able to care and nurture magical beasts. I've already posted my full reaction video to the entire showcase, which I'll conveniently link here on the right side of your screen now. As always, plenty more Hogwarts Legacy videos coming, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.